Hello, here's another report. And if you could let me know if these are working for you. I'm just trying to do shorter little videos without so much production behind them more often rather than doing, longer periods in between and doing more production stuff. So hopefully the camera's not shaking too much and all that fun stuff. So closer and closer still. I have a couple of things going on. I have this little station that I purchased a while ago, and I actually gave it to, I weathered it and everything else, and then I was like, oh, well, I'm not going to be able to use it because it just wasn't working out with my old layout. But with this setup, it's working out quite nicely. So I'm using that. And I have a tram track where the tram is, and the speed track on the other side. And I come up with a little narrative about that. And if I go up my chair here, my stool, I have a couple different track things going on here for the kind of yard slash factory setup. So the factory is going to be over here. I'm not quite sure what's going to go on over here. Something. Probably more of the industrial type buildings. So I basically stuck, if we think about it, I have Shizuoka here, the town, the village area over here, the older style, the Temple Hill, and in the back there, the harbor. And then kind of in the center section, in this section here, that kind of runs between this section over here, Shizuoka, and Soyokaze, will be the Kiwamura section. And so that's kind of going from this side over to this side. So the middle is kind of that, if you can think about it that way. And so that will be the factory that was in that other section. It'll be the little housing development and all that fun stuff. The lucky people that get to be by the factory. So probably on this side will be more of the houses and things of that nature back in here where these boxes and all this clutter is right now. And so yeah, this will be where the factory is on this side. And that track back here will basically service the factory and all that fun stuff. It's also going to serve as like a runaround track. So I'm going to kind of play around with that. There's going to be like a little shipping track where this guy is here. I think that's going to be like the shipping track. And then this kind of like storage track with the longhouse and all that fun stuff. So I also have, if you look here on the high-speed track, there is a little section there, this guy here, that I can park stuff on. And then there's also a section in the back, you see, back here, that will be for the high-speed stuff as well. So I'll be able to pull one high-speed train off on that track and then pull the other one off of this track and all that fun stuff. So I don't have to, if I want to run two different kinds of trains, I can leave them both on the track, but I don't have to reset them every time, which is great. The tram track obviously goes through Shizuoka, but it also has like a little pull off over here, but I don't have a second one set up yet. That's kind of going to be an interesting one. I'm not quite sure I'm going to be able to, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I wanted to kind of do the same thing, but with the trams, it's not such a big deal getting them on and off. I can handle that. With these guys, it's kind of a pain because there's so many different components. And so the tram track runs back here and through the city. And then this guy's a dead track. I was going to try to do this clever little wrap around here in the front and have a little tiny circuit, but And then I wasn't quite sure. If anyone knows the answer to this, it's kind of interesting. I thought, oh, maybe I can connect this track to this track, and then I'll just be able to switch back and forth on which track I'm running on. I might do that. That's kind of an interesting thing to me. So we'll see how that goes. That just runs through Shizuka there, and I'm gonna figure this stuff out. This is how I had it before, so I don't have to be locked into this. You can see everything looks very square and very boop, boop, boop. But if I went with this option, it allowed me to kind of cant the buildings a little bit, so it got a little interest there. And so I'm going to do that probably straight through, straight back in this area here. This area is going to have like a little river going through underneath these bridges to make the bridges serve some kind of purpose. And in theory, that connects up with this guy here. This guy, I'm thinking about just taking a tight turn here whoop, and just leading it right off, and that will rejoin over there. So there's like another series of bridges you don't see. So I might redo this bridge because I'm not really happy with it. And if I did, I would probably just nuke the whole thing. Unfortunately, I really like this bridge, but there were aspects of it that I didn't like, and I think trying to take it apart is going to be very difficult. Basically, the only thing I'm really not liking about this is the steepness. You can see like there's a car there and it'd just be diving off the end there. So if I could take it out, to here and have it go straight out, but I just don't know if I can make that blend very well, and it's better just to start all over, which is kind of a bummer, but I have the basic idea and I can redo things like this, so good first effort. What else here? Oh, the high-speed rail goes around, so the tram track goes across this bridge here, and then back around over that bridge and back in the usual suspects over here where all the stuff is kind of blowing up right now, but I'm sure you've seen pictures if you've followed along at home of that, and then back around to the station over here. And then the high-speed rail goes around the back here, and also there's another rail for freight, like the fish and all that fun stuff. That goes back over here to the harbor. And I'm getting another train. Yay! So I'll have 3 guys that will be able to do stuff over in that section. The high speed goes from here, cruises around. This is going to be angled right there. So it's a little angled track. And then I think I'm going to do an angled track back there on that curve as well. And might do an angle on that one as well. So, because the angle is just cool to see the train whip around an angle. It doesn't have to be that much. And had somebody tell me how to get an angle out of this track, basically using a little tiny saw, like so, and just sawing the edges here every like inch or so, making a little crack there, and it becomes very pliable, but it still holds the gauge, so that's good. So that's definitely going to be curved on that side, most definitely going to be curved there, and maybe back over here as well, but those 2 spots for sure. And then once I get all the track kind of situated and finalized and all that fun stuff, then I'm going to start working on where things are going to go. And it's interesting because like this guy in the back here was back over here, and so I just moved that whole module. I'm going to glue it down, and I'm also going to get 1 or 2 more lights like these guys, these Cowboy Studio lights, because I kind of like how they're working. They're kind of, it's kind of like an Uggo solution as far as like this big hanging light, but the light that it does provide below is really nice. And I still have to do my experiments with changing out. These have 5 light bays, so the idea was that I would have 1 or 2 of the light bays have colored lights, so either a blue light or an orange light, most likely a blue light, so I could kind of fake in a kind of a dusk look which I thought would be kind of nice. So 1 or 2 more of those cheapy lights hanging from the ceiling, and that would provide more light and blast a lot of these shadows I'm getting now, which I hate on the background. And it's just dim over here. So keeping to my 10-minute rule, I'm at 10:22 right now, but that's about the size of it right now. I'm kind of liking all this crazy track action. There's a lot of nutty stuff. Oh, and there's going to be a tunnel here. The idea is that this is going into a tunnel that's going underneath the ground. That's why you're not seeing it anymore. And then on this side, it just runs off the edge, because that's the dummy track. And you know, in the future, I may switch that up and maybe have it actually be something. But right now, it's just a dummy track. So yeah, I want to get the track, you know, kind of locked down, set some things, you know, kind of in stone, dial in elements. Like right now, that track is just kind of floating. Obviously, that's not going to be good. Lock all that stuff down, sit with it for a while, as much as it's killing me to not have, you know, my town set up and all that fun stuff. Just sit with it, play around with it for a week or two, make sure everything's working out for me, and then you know, go from there, putting stuff back together and doing more planning and all that stuff. But this has been great because this is the process that I did not do the first round. So if you are thinking about doing a layout and you're not super savvy, or you know, you don't care that much about your track, this is a kind of a fun way to do it, because with the Kato track, you can just kind of set it down, play around with it, see what works in your space and what doesn't. And it's just kind of a, I don't know, it's a more like creative, flowy way of doing it, rather than just, you know, using a track planning software or something like that, which totally makes sense if that's the way your brain works, but my brain does not work that way at all. So I tried doing that a couple of times and it just failed. I just couldn't deal with it. It was too clunky for me. So this is great. This is just like allows me to play around a little bit. So hopefully the results will be good, and something that I like. That would be fantastic. And I seem to be getting in a bunch of stuff that I wanted to have last time, which is a good process. It was a painful process for sure, as some of you who have seen some of my older videos know. It was hard tearing up what was already done, but seeing how this is running, and you know, my crazy multi power pack situation and all that fun stuff is all worth it, because it's kind of what I'm wanting, and it's allowing me to have the train fun without getting too much into it, and then I'll be able to go in to do my scenery stuff and stuff I really enjoy. So that's great. So with that being said, I will see you all later, and please leave comments. Like I said, let me know if these are working for you. Just like a, you know, simple thumbs up or great or whatever. Or if it's not working for you, let me know too. Like, this is crap footage and you're boring and whatever. Anyway, thanks a lot, and I'm wishing you all well. Happy hobbying.